So the month of July may be over, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of fireworks for the Alabama Crimson Tide on the recruiting trail, because today Alabama gets a massive win over in-conference rival, the Tennessee Volunteers, for one of the best prospects in the class of 2024. Four-star wide receiver slash athlete Amari Jefferson out the state of Tennessee commits to Alabama over the Vols, and today we need to break it all down. But before we can, y'all already know the drill. Go ahead, take the time, subscribe to the Bama Standard, your one-stop shop for all Alabama Crimson Tide content. And with that in mind, let's jump right into it. And first and foremost, who is Amari Jefferson? Well, Amari Jefferson is one of the most gifted prospects in the class of 2024. And if we look at the 24/7 Sports Composite, he comes in ranked as the number 209 player in the nation, the number 16 athlete, and the number 3 player in the state of Tennessee. And important to note, he's not just a guy that excels at the game of football. He is a multi-sport athlete. Colleges are looking at him to play college baseball as well. So for Alabama, not only do they get a phenomenal football player, they get a phenomenal baseball player as well. So this is a multifaceted win for the Crimson Tide. But let's focus on the gridiron today, because that is personally where I'm most excited to see Amari Jefferson play. Amari Jefferson is an individual that brings a lot to the table. In fact, when you turn on his film, where do you want to start talking about what he does well? This is a guy that brings a lot of speed to the game, and I don't mean just long speed, though he has got certifiable long speed. You can call a go route and bet your bottom dollar he's going to be behind the defense. But it's not just that. When you watch how his high school utilizes him, they ask him to do a lot, and for good reason. Whether he's on go routes, jet sweeps, or reverses, they're trying to find any way they can to get this guy the ball, and it makes perfect sense. Not only does he have the long speed, he has got great start-stop ability, and he's able to maintain his speed and break in and out of his routes and cuts. He's the type of guy that can have 3 defenders racing towards him. He'll do one cut and keep on going. Everybody else has to adjust speed. He doesn't. He has never even faltered in that regard. He has a special playmaking ability, and that to me is what separates him. This is the type of guy that is dangerous with the ball in his hands, but he's also dangerous when he doesn't have the ball, because he is so gifted. Defenses are going to have to pull resources to him to make sure they're aware of where he is at all times. Meaning you can get really creative with a guy like Amari Jefferson. And whenever we look at who the Alabama offensive coordinator is now, Tommy Rees, he has some creativity in it. We can go back to Notre Dame and find some motion, pre-snap motion, where he's getting creative, utilizing playmakers as chess pieces, trying to see what the defense is doing. Amari Jefferson is a guy that can come in here and absolutely do that for the Crimson Tide. He has got that ability. And one of the other things I love, whenever I'm watching a high school guy and their highlights, he has blocking highlights in the reel. That's not something you see very often, but I don't have to tell Alabama fans how much that's valued for the Crimson Tide. You're not going to see the field as a wide receiver if you're not able to block. The fact that he's in high school, not even in his senior year yet, and is already putting blocking highlights in the highlight reel, to me that means a lot. It shows that not only is he a playmaker, he's got a level of tenacity about him, a will to win that you just can't teach. That, to me, is the greatest ability he brings to the table. Because we can sit here and talk all day long about his athletic ability, and deservedly so, but it's his tenacity that, in my opinion, is the major separating factor why he is such a big win for the Crimson Tide. Alabama not only gets to bring in a wide receiver to replace the loss of Perry Thompson, but they also get to keep a wide receiver away from the Tennessee Volunteers. So this is a multifaceted win. Like I said earlier, Alabama gets a great football player. They get a great baseball player. They keep a great player away from Tennessee, and they get to add a creative playmaker into their offense, something I'm very excited about. But before we get out of here, we have got to ask and answer the question, what does this mean for the Alabama Crimson Tide recruiting class? Well, this puts them back in the top 10 at number 9, and interesting to note, they are the only recruiting class in the top 15 classes in the nation that finds themselves in that ranking with 15 or less commits currently in the class. What that means is Alabama is about to go into the season, 15 guys in the class, plenty of room left in the class, but you love the foundation you have. I think that's a great place to be. It allows you a lot of flexibility. It allows you to get in on more battles, but also be selective about the battles you're in. And personally, I think that's a great thing for Alabama. This Alabama recruiting class is going to be one we have to watch, and Amari Jefferson is certainly a welcome addition. I know Julian Sayin is over the moon that he has a dangerous weapon that he can throw the ball to now. It didn't take long for Coach Saban in Alabama to mitigate the loss of Perry Thompson flipping to Auburn. This is a huge win. I can't wait to hear from all of y'all. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about Amari Jefferson. Let me know what you're thinking about the class of 2024 for the Crimson Tide. Will this be another class that surges up the recruiting boards and finds themselves to the #1 ranking in the nation? Can't wait to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Let us know what you think. That's it. See ya.